Hey guys, on today's episode, we're working on the Chevy Express van, and as you can see, it is packed from floor to ceiling, front to back with random stuff. Now the backstory is, this is a friend of a friend. He is an older gentleman and he needs some help. And the first thing he asked was, hey, can you help me take all this stuff out and sort of organize it? He hasn't seen anything that's in here in almost 10 years. Who knows what's in here? And then number two, more importantly, let's make this vehicle safe because things are kind of sloshing around as he's driving, and we want to disinfect it so that he can drive around in a safe manner. So that and a whole lot more on this jam-packed episode of Drive and Protect. This is my friend Ollie. He's 85 years old and a retired electrical engineer, a former antique shop owner, and one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. For many years, he would find broken items, repurpose them, and then sell them again at his shop. But as to be expected, at age 85, his mind works a whole lot faster than his hands do these days. So things started to pile up quicker than he could fix, making his only transportation challenging to operate safely. With that, I drove the van for the first time, and aside from helping a friend lift and remove heavy stuff from the van, I realized just how important it was to do this for the safety of not only Ollie, but everybody else on the road. Okay, so one of the craziest parts of this whole thing, and the reason why I'm so motivated to help Ollie, is if you can see here, the shifter, it can't go into gear because there's all the books and stuff. So like I want to put this in park right now, and now I just put a neutral, that's reverse, and now I just put it into park. So to be able to do that as the car is moving back and forth and you're driving it, all this stuff falls on, obviously on the steering wheel, and it's so far gone that we're gonna have to try to make this much safer. Step one, although daunting, is pretty basic. Remove everything from the van. While Dan was working the side doors, I emptied the front cab and we both found interesting things. A bunch of artwork, a fake stick of dynamite with a timer, pottery, lamps, signs, furniture, vintage wood handsaw, rocking chair, multiple strings of lead weight, a saw blade that was under the seat cushion, not under the seat, but under the seat cushion, a newspaper from Monday, October 17th, 1955, with a headline about a huge flood, and this clever tool to help Ollie unlock the door without being able to reach over the pile. Okay guys, now at this point, we've cleaned out enough where I can sit in the passenger seat, and I found something out that's pretty cool. There is a plastic dryer cord that I found here that runs along the handrail, and then he drilled a hole, it looks like, into the lock system, and he pulls this cord and it locks the door, which is actually pretty cool. With the front half removed, we started to see the floor for the first time, and I found a ton of vinyl records, large framed artwork, more lead weights for whatever reason, absolutely gorgeous wood cabinets and trunks, and a random machete. Now, the back door was also full, but this time everything seemed to be suspended on intricate bungee cord systems, tying down everything from small tables to iron sewing machine stands, then a mysterious bottle filled with green liquid, huge round table, wooden flowers, and believe it or not, a huge and very heavy lathe. If you happen to notice in the background, we actually have another film crew filming us film our show, if that wasn't complicated enough. They are from the TV show Inside Edition with Deborah Norville. I'll have a link to the video that they shot on AMMO NYC in the description below. With a borrowed truck from our neighbor Steve, we piled the lathe into the bed of the truck and drove it back to Ollie's house so he could set it up and use it in his workshop. Now, with most of the big stuff out, we could see the condition of the material, which was clearly in need of some heavy cleaning, especially in the cup holder area, which contained live maggots and pistachios a bit past their sell by date. Next, we swept out the rest of the heavy dirt before round one of vacuuming. During the initial vacuuming, I noticed the seatbelt buckle was bent and crushed from being jammed under his collection for so long, and there was absolutely no way that he had access to using it while driving. Now, just to set a quick baseline, we tested the steering wheel and the center console with our Hygiena ATP tester to quickly assess the cleanliness of the surface with a cautionary 876 RLUs present. More on this in a bit. Then, with Ollie's guidance and everything spread out on the floor, we systematically filled 2 dumpster bags full of items that he considered junk or were no longer valuable to help us whittle down to the essential pieces, which we will organize, place in clear bins, and bubble wrap tomorrow evening. Afterwards, we unbolted the seats and covered the electrical fuse box with a cover that we actually found in the back of the van. Then we moved the van outside to power wash and scrub the inside to avoid the heavy junk from clogging up the drains as it pours out of the vehicle. It's just way easier to do it in the driveway when it's this bad. The next morning, with some well-deserved rest, we started again by blowing out the leaves and the gunk with compressed air, then power washed the outside to remove the green exterior mold. Next, we filled our buckets and foam gun with Ammo Brute and Ammo Boost and laid a thick coat on the paint and jams to loosen up the caked on grime. While I was agitating the paint, Dan used Brute in a spray bottle to scrub the tight spots with an interior brush which turned black from the years of neglect. During our cleaning process, Dan eventually opened the gas door and found Ollie's spare key. Next, we rinsed the paint and jams for the second time, and look what was released on the floor. Remember, this was the second rinse. The first layer of grime was already washed away. This was just after the second rinse, and why I did the first flush outside last night. With the exterior clean and dry, we focused on thoroughly cleaning the interior parts with AMMO Lather and a steam machine to increase the product's cleaning strength due to the heat. For areas like the dashboard, a spray and wipe method is usually enough. On the other hand, the maggot-filled cup holders and compartments were first vacuumed, then sprayed with lather, steamed, and then scrubbed with an interior brush. Trust me, the smell was not pleasant, which I think emanated from this unknown red liquid in the storage compartment above the vents, but I'm not sure. Whatever it was, it just needed to go. Some of the plastics had duct tape residue, which can be a pain in the butt to remove. To do this, heat up the area with steam, apply adhesive remover, and gently scrub with the steamer. Now, despite scrubbing with soap and power washing the floor, it still needed ammo degreaser and steam to be removed from the surface. On the hard plastic areas like this step right here, I used a compressed air stiff bristled rotary brush to lift the years of dirt. We repeated the same steps on the doors, which, if you remember, were packed with hammers and an axe, as well as rusted nails in the window frame area. The seats, or what was left of them, were also scrubbed, steamed, and then cleaned with lather before reinstalling in the now immaculate front cab area. Now, at this point in the process, we actually had a little bit of extra time to spare before Ollie arrived for the big reveal. So Dan and I decided to clay and then polish the paint. Now, obviously, the goal is not to create the next concourse winning van, but instead to clean the embedded junk, remove minor scuffs, and quickly add a layer of basic protection all in one step, which is common practice for dealerships or, let's say, high volume detail shops, both of which, admittedly, we are not. Okay, if you're asking yourself, why the heck are these guys restoring the paint, you'd be asking yourself a good question. We're not really doing that. In this case, the car is just way too far gone. The purpose of what we're doing now with the machines is just to exfoliate the paint, meaning bring it back from the dead, so to speak, because you can see from the side that we did versus not, we're actually just making it a lot more white, meaning the original color that it was before. There's still some scratches in here, but we're not really concerned about that. The product that we're using has a little bit of abrasive in it, so it's cleaning it up just a little bit. And with the microfiber pad, the little fingers of the microfibers are cleaning out all the pores. And then when we're done, the same product is actually leaving a bit of wax or sealant on the vehicle itself. If you notice, Dan and I haven't wiped the vehicle off for the entire time. We're gonna wait probably about 20 minutes, go back in, wipe it off. It's gonna look much better. It's not gonna be perfect, but it's gonna be protected, and he's gonna be able to drive knowing that his car's got some type of protection on it. With the final touches being made to the glass so he has the best opportunity to see clearly while he's driving, Dan tested the cup holders and the red liquid filled area, again with our ATP tool, and it passed our inspection, and we feel super comfortable giving the van back to Ollie in a much safer condition. Now, the only thing left to do was to buy 30 or 40 clear containers to organize his remaining items and get them ready for transport back to his home garage before the big reveal. Real quick, I wanted to update you on my upcoming car detailing simulator release later this year. We need you to sign up on Steam at the link below if you haven't already. Super important because the more interest we get now, the more cars and experiences we can build into the game. If you're unfamiliar, it's based on my real-life endless search for lost or forgotten cars, buying them within the game, restoring them with your detailing tools, your ammo products, and techniques, and then selling them online and using those profits to build the craziest detailing shop you can dream of, then repeating the process on more cars. It's super fun and is coming out later this year. Sign up in the description below. Next, with the help of the Inside Edition crew, we organized all of what Ollie said he wanted to keep into clear bins based on the type item. So for example, toys and games all in one bin, tools in another, dishes and delicates wrapped in paper in another, and so on. Then the artwork needed to be wrapped and protected. But seriously, look at some of these pieces. They're beautiful. I don't know anything about art, only what I think is visually appealing, and to me, most of his art looks pretty cool. Aside from his beautiful wood pieces and of course the fake dynamite, I was enamored with the kids' game Roller Strike by the company Doughboy. How fun is this thing? Oh, look at this. This is what makes it go down. Then you can, I guess, roll it, comes down, and hits. But if you pull this string right here, it goes back to the magnet. And then you can... What's crazy is this game is awesome, and also it's named Doughboy. I mean, how can you not? And I guess the ball rolls down here when you're done. Yeah, the ball rolls down here. Now, with everything organized and ready to jog his memory, we waited for his cab to arrive. In the meantime, we power washed the disgusting floor while I did my obligatory, so tell us how it went type interview with the TV crew. When Ollie arrived, I gave him the tour of his new/old van to see the transformation. What do you think of this over here? Look how shiny this is.
Yeah, it's like a new car.
Yeah? Are you ready to see inside?
Oh, geez. You know, I never used this door.
Well, now you can.
Yeah.
You ever seen it like that?
No. You know, I never seen it like this. No?
Oh, look at this.
Boy,
Floor to ceiling, empty and cleaned. We scrubbed all of this, disinfected it. and then power washed all out. We scrubbed the walls, everything.
Holy Christ.
The van itself actually lifted up, so your suspension came back up. Look at the inside. Look at all the area. Isn't that cool?
Never been this way.
Then we went over to his collection and showed him a few pieces we found that he had forgotten about years ago to jog his memory. From toys and games to lampshades and tools, newspapers, and of course, I had to find out more about this dynamite. I have to say, my favorite piece, right here. You gave me a little bit of a heart attack when I opened this.
You know what? Somebody brought that to my shop, and they brought that in a actual ammo box.
Oh, no kidding.
On the outside of the box, it said ammo box, and that's why they put that in, and it had a timer on it.
I could see, yes. When I went to go pick it up, I went, ah! that is a nice piece right there. That's one of my favorites.
I'm surprised you found all this stuff.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's pretty neat. Lastly, we surprised Ollie with his missing eyeglasses he had lost a long time ago.
Yeah.
And look at this. Somebody wrote important eyeglasses.
Oh, geez, I hope they're mine.
Those are yours.
Oh, thanks. God damn. You know,
You missing those?
yes, I was missing. At one time, I had 3 pair. It went down to 2 pair, went down to 1 pair, and then I had none all of a sudden.
Well, now you found them.
Yeah, I can't wait to wear them.
As our last step, we quickly packed up the van with the few remaining items that he wanted to bring back to his workshop. And by the end of the project, I'm not sure who had more fun, me or Ollie. Although we did throw away a bunch of stuff, in truth, I didn't expect to find so much interesting artwork and records and toys and historical pieces that would jog his memory with one story after another, which kind of got me wondering and thinking why I didn't spend more time and ask more questions to my own grandparents when I was younger and when they were still around. Good-natured older folks can tell you stories about historical events firsthand, and although books are really great, it doesn't even come close to hearing someone who actually lived through the event, and that's becoming rarer every day. Now, I'll spare you the PSA lecture, but every once in a while, just put down the phone and take advantage of a great story if you're lucky enough to still have the chance. So with that said, Ollie was on his way, back on the road in a clean, safe van.
I'm very happy to say that I'm glad that this worked out like it did, because I'm having such a good time when I come over here. I'm on my way. Maybe not to the promised land, but not yet.